Today we took a quick road trip down to Peterson Restorations. Now, Peterson Restorations might not be a name you're familiar with yet in the Mustang industry, but trust me, with his growing social following and a couple of his restorations being up for some pretty prestigious awards, it's a name you definitely want to know. So the man behind Peterson Restorations is Ben Peterson. Now, me and Ben go way back. You started working for me back when I ran the restoration shop. I think you were in high school still?
Yep, I was a senior in high school. I started there 3 months before I graduated and asked to start in the shop and kind of went from there.
I think you started pulling used parts, if I remember
correctly.
correctly.
The junkyard, whenever the
Sweeping the
junkyard
floors,
was going
doing
good.
all that kind of basic stuff. And how did you get here? I mean, I know you started doing some restoration work for us when we were there, and now you're producing like high-end restorations. Tell us about the journey to this point.
It's just a love for the Mustang. My dad's had a Mustang since I was born. He has the same car since '77.
Okay, now is that the one that you just, that fastback you just restored?
Yep, that's the green
Okay.
fastback, yep.
And that car's up for a pretty prestigious award, if I remember correctly.
It just got nominated for a national award, and it just won its senior award earlier this year.
And that was a car you did a full restoration of yourself.
Yeah, full nut and bolt restoration.
And how long ago did you do that restoration?
I finished it 1.5 years ago.
Okay. And how bad was that car when you started? I mean, you've obviously got some serious projects here, but how was that car when you started out?
It's probably one of the cleanest cars that you could find. It's a California car.
Okay, so it was a good candidate for sure.
There was not a piece of sheet metal replaced on the car.
Okay.
Which is strange for me, seeing what's
it
behind
seems to
you.
be sheet metal is your thing for sure.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad. It just send it out, get paint, and just new parts, put it back together.
Now, how many full restorations you do? I know you have a unique angle on the cars that you actually buy and then build and sell. Now, how many like full restorations have you done versus, I know you specialize in more of a roller kind of job.
Yeah, I do a lot of just sheet metal jobs, but full restorations I've probably done 5 or 6 now.
Okay.
Complete.
And you're still in your mid-20s.
Yep, I'm still in my 20s.
Okay, and tell me about, I know you could buy a lot of cars, and I follow you on social media, obviously, and you guys should as well. He's got some great pictures on there. But tell us about, you seem to take these cars a lot of times and you just do the sheet metal and then you sell them. Tell us about that.
It seems to work the best for me and for the customer who's buying the car. A lot of people don't like to do the rust. As you can see, they're just
this is a challenge.
Ugly, and
yeah.
People just kind of throw them away to the side. For me, I love the rust. It's easy for me to fix. I have all the tools to do it. So I'll fix every piece of metal on this car, put suspension on it, and then whoever wants it could buy it, paint it whatever color they want, restore it the way that they want. The sheet metal is the foundation, so that's
yeah, once you get that done, you can build off it. What a lot of our viewers probably don't know is you actually started 5030 for us, our 65 SEMA car. That was
one of the shells that I did that I got from CJ's. I already bought it for the.
And that was a car we were scrapping. It was
Yep.
that bad that we were going to scrap that car.
Yeah, I couldn't let it go to waste, so I saved it.
And Ben actually bought that car from CJ's, built it into a roller, and then I believe we bought it back from you, and that was where 5030 came from. So that was I mean, obviously that's a SEMA car that you were involved with.
Yeah.
You've got AACA award cars you're involved with, and you're just getting started, really.
Yeah, I feel like I am just getting started, yep.
Well, let's show us some of the projects you have going right now. So knowing what I know about what you do and what you start with, you find these cars that people would throw away. I mean, 5030 was that way. I remember we went to pick up that car and it literally split in half putting it on the rollback. This car, there's nothing to it. I mean, this would normally be a parts car that somebody would leave in a salvage yard to rot. And this is the kind of stuff that you fixed. I mean, tell us about this car here. What's the plan with this one?
This is a perfect example of what I like to find, yeah.
The rougher the better.
I'm looking for just the main structure to be okay. This one, it looks really bad, which it is, but the main structure is okay, and it came with some extra parts. I actually went to Maine for this one.
Okay.
So it was a bit of a drive, but for a fastback, it's worth it.
Now, so basically, as long as the bones are there and there's something to work off of, even if it's so much as just the firewall's in good shape, and you can build off of that, that's all you really need to build a car.
Yep, I have every measurement to put this car back in place. So if it was twisted, which you can see the front end, it's been hit, so it's crooked.
Yeah, this whole car's
everything. I have all the measurements, so it's no problem putting it back together.
And what would be the plan for a car like this? I mean, this will be, I'm assuming, a roller is how you would sell this?
This will be one of my shells that I build to make a roller to then sell to someone who wants to finish it their own way.
Okay, this is a 65, 6, what year is this one?
This one's a 65.
Okay.
and it's the Twilight Turquoise.
Now, do you run VINs on these cars and find out, you do Marty reports on them to figure out what it came with, what the options were, so you have all that when you sell the car?
Some of them I do. A lot of times the door tag's gone on, like on this one, I don't believe I had the door tag.
Okay.
This was a 6-cylinder car originally.
Okay, okay.
So just change the suspension on it and make it a V8 and make it whatever you want to, really.
Now you have two very interesting 67s actually that I really would like to see. Can we see those next?
Oh yeah.
All right. Now when I texted you last week about coming out here, the main reason I want to come out was to see these two cars. I saw you post them on social media. They're obviously both really rare 67s based on the color. Tell us a little about the Fastback first and then this coupe here.
Well, the Fastback is actually, I've come to find out that it's Dusk Rose.
Okay.
It was listed as Playboy Pink, and I figured it's pink either way.
It's
I'm
rare
gonna go
no
for
matter
it.
what. Yeah.
Yeah, and I went to Missouri for this one.
Okay, so that was a hike.
It was a haul, so I figured either way it's pink, I'm gonna go for it.
Now that color is probably more rare, I would think, than Playboy Pink. I've never actually seen a car. I think I may have seen a coupe at that color at one point, but it's a rare color, especially on a Fastback.
From what I'm told, that this Dusk Rose is more rare than the Playboy Pink, especially on Fastback. Okay,
and what's the plans for this car?
This one I'd like to keep and restore for myself. I'm going to do a full correct restoration.
So a full, like not number obviously, but a full
Everything
original style correct to the car.
Yep.
Very, very cool. So, well, since this one wasn't Playboy Pink, you had to go out and get a Playboy Pink one.
Yeah.
So tell us about this car here.
It was weird coincidence. I found them both within about 3 weeks.
Okay.
I found this one first and then saw that one listed up as Playboy Pink, and it had the right numbers on it that said it was. So
okay.
I went to North Carolina for that one.
Now, again, the same plans, full restoration, all correct?
That one I would like to keep as well, just based on rarity. It's just, and having two pink ones. It just
doing have a pink Fastback and a pink coupe in your garage, and maybe a pink convertible, just finish the collection off properly.
Maybe, yeah.
Now, this car is actually a little bit different than a lot of what you do. I mean, most of these, obviously, this seems to fit your build where it's really apart, missing everything. This car is really complete. I mean, it looks like almost everything's there except for some incorrect seats.
Yep, this one's really complete. It was parked since about 88 or 90.
Okay.
Transmission was slipping. That was a story on it. I'm the third owner of this car, but it was never really messed with. It was repainted once red, which you can see over
Yeah,
top.
I saw some of the red, but it's thankful a lot of the pink survived. I mean, it really is amazing how much pink is on the car still.
Yeah, and I just saw it and had to have it, and now I feel like I'm going to keep it
just because.
I got to keep some of them eventually.
You've said that for years, but I've seen you sell a lot of the cars that you were going to keep.
Yeah.
Now, the roof on this one, what is that? And obviously, there's no pink or anything on there. It doesn't look like it ever had a vinyl, even though it has the trim. So is that painted? Is that the way that would be?
Top, from what I'm told, that was painted white from the factory.
Okay.
Which I think is nice. It offsets the
So it was a
paint
factory two-tone, but not a white vinyl top. It was actually a painted steel roof on the car.
Correct, yeah.
And when do you plan on starting this one? Or do your projects get the back burner for customer cars first?
I have the sheet metal to fix that a while, so I may fix the rust on this and the Fastback and then send them to get painted and just let them sit at least.
Okay, and you do, so restoration-wise, I mean, obviously you're one of our best customers. You know, almost all these parts come from CJ's, but you do everything but paint then. That's the only thing you don't do in-house here.
That's the only thing that I don't do, yeah.
And you have, I'm assuming, a regular shop where you take all your paint work to and he does all the stuff for you.
Yeah, I have one guy that I trust really well with, and he's done 6 or 7 cars for me so far.
Okay, I think you said you have an example inside of something he's painted for you, but it's not your typical restoration.
Not typical for me, but yeah, it's nice.
Let's go check that out. So we're in here, and I guess this is your clean room, or if you're an assembly room, but tell us about this. Obviously not a Mustang, but still a gorgeous car.
This is a 72 Nova. I'm doing a full restoration on this one for a guy. He bought this car new.
Okay, cool.
So just a long-term project he's been wanting to get done.
Big block, small block? What's it going to have done when it's all done?
It's a small block, but I believe he's going with a 392 stroker.
Okay, very. And what color is this? Because it looks like, is it root beer? That's what it looks like.
I believe it is called root beer brown. This was his choice. He liked the brown.
And why a Nova? Just somebody you knew that wanted some work done? And
it's a family friend, so.
Okay, so you went outside your normal Mustang boundaries to do something a little different. This car is going to be gorgeous. I can't wait to see this one done. All right, so know that you like a challenge, but I know this car. I mean, I started at CJ's 14 years ago. This was here long before I was there, and this car was written off, but you really are going to fix this one too?
Yep, just being a fastback, I couldn't let it go. I have a sweet spot for fastbacks.
Yeah, this car, if I remember, this is obviously it's a 69. This was a Mach 1. I think it was a 351 car, is that correct?
It was a 351 automatic, yeah.
Okay. And again, this one's going to be a full restoration, or is this one going to be a rolling chassis when someone else finish the hard work?
This one will just
finish the rest of the work. You're going to do the hard work.
It'll be just a rolling shell whenever it's done on my end.
And how soon, this one seems to be sitting in the corner. How soon is this project going to start?
Well, I plan on having this one done before the end of the year.
This year?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to stop back and we'll take a look at this one and see how far you get. That's pretty ambitious. So Ben, thanks for having us out here today. I mean, you've come a long way since pulling used parts out of the salvage yard back in the day. Definitely looking forward to seeing some of these projects done. When do you think you're going to start working on this car here?
Hopefully by the end of the year I'll start on it, but it'll be a couple-year process.
This one's going to be a long-term restoration because this one, like you said, you're doing right, and this one you're planning on keeping. We'll see how long that plan lasts.
Yep.
But again, it was awesome to come out here and check out this shop, Peterson Restorations, I believe, on Instagram. If you like seeing cars go from this to show winners, definitely check it out.